Welcome to the series Debunking Wellbeing Myth in Leadership.
Debunking the myth, as a leader, I need to keep my distance. When I hear the statement that a leader needs to keep distance from the employees, I wonder what is behind that belief. Is a safe distance needed in order to keep a neutral ground, or not wanting to be accused of having favorites amongst the team members? Or is it that if you get too close, you might lose authority? Or is it that as a leader, you will have to make tough decisions affecting team members, and being too close makes it harder to do that? Does this belief come from a time when leaders were autocratic entities, giving commands, using monetary reward and punishment systems as the only tools to get people to do as told? The military uses this approach for different reasons, but other sectors have long moved on. Employees want to collaborate. They want to be a true part of the organization and not held at arm's length. If we look at what research or industry leaders define as a good leader, keeping distance is never mentioned. The opposite. A good relationship with employees is the top of the list as a leadership skill. W. Prentice is the former president of the Wheaton College in Norton, and he stated in his article at the Harvard Business Review, Understanding Leadership from 2004, quote, "A great leader's unique achievement is a human and social one, which stems from his understanding of his fellow workers." He further lays out that to the detriment of good leadership, leaders often tend to lay aside everyday's intuitive skills in human relations when they arrive at the office. They put on a mask of being the employer or the executive instead. So he says they give orders often rather than impersonally, forgetting that effective mobilization of human resources always requires the voluntary participation of all. He later uses the comparison to a conductor of an orchestra, and I find that really helpful. Yes, the conductor has a physical distance to the orchestra, but not out of fear to be too close or to lose authority, but to ensure that every member in the orchestra can see the conductor well, follow the lead, and can communicate with him and her through the instrument. The conductor also will practice with different sections at a time, knowing their needs and capabilities, supporting them to navigate the difficult parts well. The conductor, as well as all team members, are fully aware that only the collaboration between all of them creates the beautiful results that we want to see. I love watching documentaries about sport coaches or famous athletes. There is so much to learn about good leadership or the rhythm between failing and winning or reaching goals. So in the latest Netflix series that I watched, The Playbook, A Coach's Rule for Life, the NBA coach Doc Rivers mentions that some of the advice he got when he started out was not to get too close to his team. And after many decades of coaching, he comes to a complete different conclusion. He says, "That was awful advice. Do get close to them." He also says, "The reason to keep distance is that you might get your heart broken, that people might let you down. And yes, that happens. Some do. So what? Your job is to help them get better players, better people, better teammates." I love that statement. It encourages leaders to keep the hands in the pie, to understand as a true leader, you touch people way beyond their work capacity. You help them grow so that they can unfold and be at their best in their work and as a human, which in turn helps the organization to thrive and succeed. For that, you need to be close, because you want to know their stories, their aspirations, and their way of operating. McKinsey International Management Consultancy did an analysis of academic literature as well as a survey of nearly 200,000 people in 81 organizations all over the world. They concluded that the main 4 types of leaders' behaviors that account for 89% of leadership effectiveness are being supportive, operating with a strong result orientation, seeking different perspectives, and solving problems effectively. So 2 of these points will be hard to accomplish if you keep a lot of distance to the people you work with, being supportive and seeking different perspectives. How do you know what support individuals need if you are not in trusting communication with them? Equally, how can you ensure people share their perspectives with you if they don't think you're on their side because you keep too much distance? This leads me to the queen of vulnerability research, Brené Brown. Her extensive research shows that vulnerability is a sign of strong leadership. She defines vulnerability as taking action when there's uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. So keeping a safe distance and showing yourself vulnerable does not work at the same time. Which brings me back to the why of leaders actually preferring to keep their distance to employees. It might be that fear of getting hurt or exposed. Leaders are humans as well. It takes courage to show yourself when uncertainty hits you, or when you have made a mistake, or when you don't know the answer. Hiding behind an armor of perfectionism, or the armor of being the leader, might feel like saving your face, but it also keeps you away from the people who are there to help you accomplish your goals and objectives, because you don't appear as real. As always, everything is a matter of finding the right balance. Of course, you don't have to share everything, and you don't have to be engaged with all the people at all times. Depending on the size of the organization, others also might have a close ear to what is going on. But them only reporting to you and you not making the effort to be with your people will screw your perspectives and insights. So keeping a safe distance takes away your power as a leader to form the bond, the trust, the community that you all need to thrive and to experience well-being and to do the best for the organization so you all can succeed. Here we go. Myth debunked. If you want to learn more, hop onto my website, enjoy my Mindful Moment podcast, or get in touch with me. I would love to have a conversation. My name is Dr. Elke Paul. I'm a leadership and well-being coach, and I dare you to live and lead with well-being.